Hey guys, today I want to talk about pop production, and specifically I want to break down a pop song of mine that I released like 2 weeks ago called Say Nothing. In case you missed it, the link is going to be in the description, and I also posted a lyric video here on YouTube, but you might have missed it, so yeah, the link is going to be in the description. So firstly, I like to organize my sessions. So usually I have these stacks, which is like harmonies, guitar, synths, drums, bass. Usually it's just like one track. If I have two or three, then I'm just gonna layer them. Unfortunately, something really messed up here with the project. I'm guessing, I know what happened. So basically, I have a few Waves plugins, and with Waves plugins, you have to update them from time to time, and that costs money. So basically, kind of almost every year, every second year or whatever, you have to kind of buy a new version again because that previous version expired. So I was like, I'm not gonna update them. And so I didn't. And I did not realize how much I actually used them. And now when I open old projects, for example, in this one, there was like a notification that, you don't have these plugins. And there's like 20 tracks where I had that plugin. And I'm like, man, now I have to replace them. So I just replaced them. I replaced the compressor with a random compressor. It's not going to be the same, But right now I don't want to change anything really. But this is a little messed up. So the mix is not going to be great, I gotta say. But, you'll still get the idea. Let's start with the synth. That's the first thing that I started with. And the first thing that I came up with was this, actually. And at first that was just like an idea. So the intro, I think, was the first thing that I came up with in this song. I came up with this melody. I was like, sounds kind of cool, right? And then I thought, what if I use it for the chorus too? So chorus still features the same melody. There's also vocal on top of that melody. So all my melodies are exactly the same as the synth, right? And I just kept it. I was like, sounds cool. So like, if I pull up the chorus and my melody.
Stay, you think, stay exclusive. Why'd you come at me like I mind your business? If you got nothing good and you say nothing.
So yeah, it's basically I just took the synth melody and came up with lyrics that fit that melody, and that's how the chorus was born. And I was like, wow, that's nice. One thing about this synth melody is that there is some filter going on. If you hear here, so you see it's kind of filtered, right? At this because I just wanted some kind of variation, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna filter out the highs. It was basically just like one EQ that I applied, this one. If you look at how it changes, it's actually just this one track. Yeah. So I basically just applied in this case it's actually a shelf that I applied. I just, cut out all the high end to create that muffled sound. And I did the same thing here too, but just not on this. It was for the MIDI that I did it. Yeah. And then there was this saw synth. And then together, it was just like some synth, I think. And I was using a Serum, if I'm not mistaken. And then together, they sound like. Nice. And then I also had the sub bass. Sub bass also sounds messed up a little, but anyway. And then some drums. And then drums, basically, is largely just like a kick, which is super basic, kick and a snare. Just like the most basic loop I think that you can just come up with. And then I had some other snare. Wait. Yeah, not like snare, just a rim, I guess. And then I had some other elements that were like percussion, for example. So like you could hear this small sound. And then a bunch of percussion here. I found all of these sounds just on Logic's Drum Machine Designer, which is an excellent plugin. Not plugin, just like an instrument, you know. Basically, the whole drum set sounds like this for the pre-chorus. You know, pre-chorus for me is a bit spiced up in terms of percussion. I just wanted it to, you know, sound different from the verse. And one way how I did that was to add a bit more percussion. So this is how the pre-chorus sounds, the drums. Wait, what's going on? And then the chorus kicks in. And basically the verse and also the pre-chorus is mainly just the drums, really. If you listen to like the whole thing, the whole song, verse 1.
Seeing faces in the places that make me lose all my senses, dealing with the unexpected, turn around all things I hated.
And then in the pre-chorus, I do have a guitar that starts, which is just like real quick chords, you know. And then here, just like some strumming on the electric guitar. For my guitars, I usually use noise reducer. I just use the Waves one. This is like super simple. And it's like one knob, literally. You should not overdo it, because I think if you go above 10 for guitars, it's definitely not that great. For vocals, it's still okay. I think there's limit 15 or something. But guitars, I think up to 10 is the right amount. And because, you know, whether that's acoustic guitar or electric guitar. For acoustic guitar, there's, for example, a lot of noise from me kind of sitting in my, for example, t-shirt, rubbing against the guitar, right? Or just noise from the microphone, because I have to put a lot of gain for the guitar, you know. And when it's electric guitar, there's some noise from the pickup, right? And that you want to eliminate. But yeah, that's it for the guitar, really. And that's the pre-chorus, you know. Guitar, drums. Super basic. And the chorus, yeah, it starts with this like kind of with the same synth melody, right? But without the start. So because the idea here was
100 times I heard you teach it.
So like you see, I gave some space for the lead vocal, and then I introduced a bit of that melody, synth melody, and then the whole chorus kicked in with like the full synth melody. And also, at first, you see here, this part is, for example, just the synth melody was without the saw synth, and only here,
100 times I heard.
just to give a bit more impact to that second part of the chorus, I add in the saw synth. And yeah, sub bass, it's pretty much just like here. Oh yeah, and that's actually a new thing also coming in. This is a new element in the song. And this is also quite a big element, actually. That is the main guitar, really, in the song.
100 times I heard.
Just like some electric guitar strumming. And it's also, you know, got some diversity. For example, here you see, I didn't just, you know, always have double for this, right? This here, for example, I don't have a double, just so that I kind of, make it a bit different. It really does sound boring after some time if you have the same exact thing everywhere. So you sometimes gotta just do something different. That's some really cool strumming, I think. And then here comes something else. What is it? Oh yeah, just like some just muted strumming on an acoustic guitar as like
100 times I heard you.
I didn't have hi-hats here, but so that kind of served as hi-hats, not as high obviously, but still something, on the top end, more like something for like rhythm, Then comes the second verse.
Can be true there.
I quite often what I do, I just leave some space after the first chorus, and so that when the second verse comes, there's just a vocal, or it's just like very limited instrumentation, so that there's like a small break from the instrumentation. So here I took it back a little on the second verse.
Can be true, they're all into the same philosophy of the view.
Here there's pretty much the same thing that was going on in the pre-chorus, in the first pre-chorus, but here I have also bass. So like, yeah, just added one more element to the previously heard part, right? Drums are still the same. Okay, actually the drums are a little different. I still have the drums from the first verse, but the same structure of the electric guitar as from the pre-chorus. So like the strumming and also the like picking. And then I also add the sub. And then what else do I have here? And then comes the second pre-chorus, which is probably my favorite part here because of like the layers, maybe not as much as the instrumentation, although I love it too. And then here I have again a different electric guitar. Actually this song features only electric guitar except that muted acoustic guitar, and that's gonna sound like this when you do both the high strumming and the slower strumming in the chorus. Yeah, here these guitars are just timed differently, but I think they work quite well together, And then for the pre-chorus, second pre-chorus, I again have the same drums. I have sub bass this time already, which is different from that pre-chorus, right? And also this electric guitar that we looked at already. What's different here from the first chorus, second part, is that now I have this guitar, electric guitar, which I didn't have in the second part of the first chorus. And that is like, you don't need a lot of new elements, it's enough to have one new element. And so for the second part, I have this strumming. And actually also this. Also a cool part. And then there is also one new element coming in here. Just like some piano. It's just really phased out piano. Just like chords, whatever. And this is also the same thing. No, actually, it's a bit different playing, but it's also piano, but just not that much of modulation added, and just a bit of different playing. I have this like little outro which I made with the intention that, you know, I just wanted, yeah, I just wanted like some cool outro with like some guitar playing. So there's a whole lot of guitar layered, and it kind of like, again, interferes with each other, but I feel like it's okay the way it does. Maybe I could have added one guitar less here. There's like a whole lot of just guitars, you know. I was just playing a few melodies, just messing around, you know. I thought it was gonna be cool. Looking back at it, I think I could have got rid of like one or two guitars easily, and that would still sound good. And also an important part is these kind of uplifters, because they kind of, when you don't have them, I mean, I can actually turn them off. It doesn't sound like, listen to it without them. Oh, you know, something feels okay. Maybe it doesn't feel wrong, but it does feel a bit empty, right? And now listen with them. Always felt. And now again without them. You see, I think after you listen with those uplifters, then listening without them feels weird. You know, it feels like something's missing. Always felt like I'm at fault for being. So this is like, this pre-chorus is super simple. It's just like some picking, acoustic picking, and the vocal, and then the second part of the bridge has the same percussion as the pre-chorus previously, and now the whole thing. Always felt like I'm at fault for being helpless on my own. Now some electric. Changing scene is solitude. It's the electric that we already heard previously. A changing scene is solitude. To find the answer and get off the hook 100 times. So, and here also an important detail is the synth. With this synth, I kind of enter the chorus, you know, and it kind of works as an uplifter, but just in a bit of a different way. I'll just listen to it. Solitude to find the answer and get off the hook 100 times. So like, you see, something is missing when you don't have something good that you heard previously. You realize how much you miss it, you know. And here I think it does. Find the answer and get off the hook 100 times. I heard you. And basically the last chorus, you just go all in, you know. You basically bring all of the elements that you had previously in the song, right? Here, really, I don't have anything new here. It's all, oh, actually, this is something new. Let me see. Yeah, this is just like super reverby acoustic guitar. I was just messing around with my acoustic guitar, and I came up with this sound, which sounds cool, I think. Listen to it. It just adds some ambience to the whole song, you know, a little bit. When it comes to the EQ on my lead vocal, I add just a little bit of top end, high end, cut out a little bit of like the mid lows, and then add a bit here around 1500, and that's it. Just cut out the, you know, low end, high pass filter. For the compressor, I usually aim at -5 gain reduction.
In the places
And let's see if I achieved it.
100 times I heard you teaching rules that you think stay
Around the peaks are around -5, which is great. Noise reduction, saturation. I use soft tube saturation. Now I use some other saturation, but this is free. This is a free plugin. You can download it and use it. It's super simple, one knob, and that's it. And then you just choose saturation type. It's also got some presets. So, and then de-esser, waves de-esser. And then, as like with bus processing, I add a bit of reverb and delay to the vocal. Sometimes I add it on the input channel too if I want the vocal itself to be a little wet. But then I would usually add, like, it has to be super short delay, and then mix has to be around maybe 10%. Harmonies actually treat in a similar way as the lead vocal. So for example, they have almost the same exact processing. Actually, there's Melodyne. I always run my vocals through Melodyne, which is a little messed up. Man, this project is just so messed up, and that's so sad, because now I just can't go back to it. They're probably a little pitchy.
If you got nothing good and you say nothing, 100 times I heard you teaching rules that you think stay.
A little, yeah. Man, this is just so bad. But yeah, I always run it through Melodyne, all of the vocals. And then the same thing, compressor, EQ, de-esser, noise reduction. Again, compressor, again, saturation. Just with maybe different amounts, and then the EQ is usually a bit different. For all of the vocals, I try to do them slightly differently, the EQ at least. And the de-esser is a bit more powerful on the harmonies, because it's annoying when there's like 10 harmonies with harsh S's, and it's just, it accumulates to really annoying sound. So you better de-ess harder on the harmonies and like all the stacks, whatever, the rest of the harmonies, and then I just pan them left, right, and not all of them go like 100% left or right. Some of them go like 90%, let's say, or in case of Logic, for example, 55, right? This goes 64. So just do them differently so that you get a wider sound. If you do them all just like 64 left, 64 right, they're all going to be at the same spectrum. So you just kind of have to spread them out, evenly. So I start from, let's say here, 41, 35 even, and then just go 35, 38, 41, 45, 49, whatever, and just like spread them out like that. This is actually a part that I really like. Let's hear it. The second pre-chorus.
Ready to take 'cause I'm Scarface. Stitching wounds got me living breakless. All the noise around triggers brainwaves. So I choose walking on my own. 100 times.
There's this one moment, for example. I mean, firstly, there's like, quite a bit of layers here, which I really like.
Scarface.
And there's this one thing, which I think is pretty cool, and it's just basically my vocal, with a whole lot of saturation, kind of, I think even an amp or something, and then it just adds some nice little touch to the song.
Walking on my own. 100 times I heard.
And then what else do I have here? What is this even? This is outro. Anyway, and then the pre-chorus in terms of chorus in terms of harmonies, it doesn't have like a whole lot.
100 times I heard you teaching rules that you think stay exclusive. Why'd you come at me like I mind your business?
Basically, I have harmonies on those. Mind your business. Stay exclusive. Ba-da-da-da.
Business. If you got nothing good and you say nothing, 100 times I heard you teaching.
And Bridge also features quite a bit of harmonies, if you listen to it.
Always felt like I'm at fault for being helpless on my own.
What is this? Some little stack. Some nice little touch. I was kind of inspired, I think, by Ariana Grande or something. Then, what do we have? There's this small thing, which is just huge reverb stuff. Some ad-libs, which I think I overdid.
nothing. Sometimes I heard you teaching rules that you think stay exclusive. Why'd you come at me like I mind your business? If you got nothing good and you say nothing, nothing. Sometimes it's a favor to say nothing.
And then this part is a little different because of the chords primarily. I don't remember exact chord structure, but here I'm playing. Actually, let me hear. Okay, but here I have. Okay, here I have a whole bar for each chord basically. While here I had it like half bar. Yeah, even a little tricky, but anyway, here I have a whole bar for a chord, and then I have this, just this guitar, the drums, some kick, some percussion, and a bit of hi-hats coming in. The only time when I have hi-hats here. And that's it, the song ends. So this last part is basically about some percussion, something like hi-hats that you haven't heard before, a little different chord progression that you also haven't heard before. So like, adding something new to the song. And then, just like adding right at the end, again, that strumming.
Sometimes I want you to say nothing.
And then this is, what is it exactly? Let me hear. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I kind of like it. And then just a few ad-libs, really. This, for example, whole thing is kind of ad-libs. And this is actually also a pretty cool thing. This is I don't remember what it was exactly. I think it must have been just me singing one note like, and then I altered the voice with this plugin by Logic called Vocal Transformer, and I think the setting was deep transient gate. Yeah, exactly. And then it results in something like this. Yeah. Again, some new element. And a
Times it's a favor to say nothing.
A few harmonies, here.
Nothing.
Some vocals.
Sometimes it's a favor to say nothing. Nothing. Sometimes I want you to say nothing. Nothing. Sometimes it's a favor to say nothing. Sometimes I want you to say nothing.
And here I again have some uplifters just to like finish it off on like, build the tension up and then cut off. And that's it.
Sometimes I want you to say nothing.
And that's it. The song ends here. Is there anything else that I would like to show here? Actually, this small intro, where is it? This is just like a guitar strum. Just like interesting. Where is it? MIDI. Okay.
Seeing faces in the places that make me lose all my senses.
And there's okay, and actually this transient vocal transformed sound is also in the first pre-chorus. I just realized it.
I got dragged down to the lowest point now. I'm stuck with some people who think it's alright down here. 100 times I heard.
And here, sometimes what I also quite often hear it in songs, when there's just vocal, and there's no instrumentation, it's kind of cool to bring the lead vocal down an octave and just like, you know, have the vocal transformer just as I did here. For example, without the vocal transformer, that's the sound that I used.
100 times I heard you teaching.
And then I added the stock plugin Logic vocal transformer.
100 times I heard you teaching.
And you can hear it in the whole mix here.
100 times I heard you
And without it, for example.
100 times I heard you teaching.
With it.
100 times I heard you teaching. Rules that you think stay.
That's quite often used, honestly.
Oh,
Okay, there's like
nothing can be
yeah, some like the first chorus ends in kind of like reverby vocal, just like oh.
got nothing good and you say nothing can be true. They're all into the same philosophy of the view. Second chance carries fear that
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
my
yet
favorite
ready
part.
to take, cause I'm Scarface. Stitching wounds got me living breakless. All the noise around triggers break. So I choose walking on my own. 100 times I heard you teaching.
For the master, I use one plugin called Maserati, which is like really cool. It's from Waves, and I just love it so much. You know, for mastering, I just put this on, and that's it. That's my master, really. But I do have to say that I have like a mastering engineer too, who just polishes the song, and also a mixing engineer. Yeah, that's what I also did. So this mix is not like final, but what you hear on Spotify, for example, that is the final mix, obviously. And I'm probably gonna do that more often. I think so. Why not? I guess if people like it, definitely. But yeah, I just hope this doesn't happen again with the files. You know, they're so messed up with these plugins. I just, you know, gotta be careful about that. And I see you next time. I think I'm also gonna drop a new song in like 2 weeks. Actually, even less. I think no, actually 2 weeks. Yeah, and I'm then probably gonna create another video like this. So if you like it, leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to me if you're new to this channel. And see you next time, guys. Bye.